Hello everyone, welcome to Ariyike's Corner, and I'm your host Precious SDG. Ariyike on here, the medical presenter with the health presentation, and I'm here again to give you another healthy dose. I'm super happy to be here to have these conversations, conversations that really matter and conversations that inspire. How have you been? I hope you've been well. If you are new, should we sing first timer song now? Alright, please just hit the subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on our subsequent videos. And if you are returning like customer Dadani, you are the real MVP. Thank you so much for always. Thank you for always. Yes, let's dive into let's leave the appetizer alone and start the main dish. So yeah, today we are going to be looking at SDG for quality education, and our topic for today is beyond the classroom, reimagining education in Nigeria. And as you can see, I'm not here alone. It's not like I'm a Liverpool fan, never walk alone, but today I'm here with an educator for excellence. Sometimes, not even sometimes, these conversations, let's leave it to people that are in there, that they know where shoe for the pitch them. Let them talk about it. And with me on the show today, I have Mr. Victor and Jeremy.
Good to be here today.
Thank you so much for joining Ariyike's Corner.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for bringing your wealth of experience to Ariyike's Corner. I don't overstress this man. Please let me say thank you to him in the comment section. All right. So, like I said, he's an educator by excellence. You'll see, just get a notepad and a pen because spoiler alert, you need it. You need it. All right, so let's dive into it. I have just 3 questions for him. They're just 3 questions, but trust me, is rich and is wide. Yes. So okay, let's get into it. Okay. Please say hello to my people before
you. Hi everybody. My name is Victor, and I'm an educator, like she said, and I'm so happy to be here. By excellence, and I'm so happy to be here today.
All right, thanks so much, Victor. Okay, so the first question is, can you share with us the most pressing challenges facing education in your community, maybe for your village? Everybody get village now.
All right, so the most pressing challenge facing education, and when you say community, I'll just extend it to Nigeria as a community. Right?
Okay.
So the most pressing challenge, well, I'll just highlight 2. Now, you can have other smaller problems, but most of those problems stem
like
from
the father and the mother.
Exactly.
They can't bomb plenty now. Wow.
So the first problem that I would say is funding.
All right.
The first problem is funding, and the second problem, major problem that we have, is the rigidity of our curriculum.
Talk to me.
Yes, it's a big problem.
Wow.
So funding and the rigidity of some of the curriculum in some areas can still be.
Wait. Which area do you curriculum? Where? Okay. God bless Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria.
Yeah. Funding and the rigidity of our curriculum. Wow. Actually, now the papa and the mama they bomb plenty
picking.
Wow.
Out of the plenty picking, you cannot have, we don't have enough computers in school. We don't have a problem of funding. We don't have tech inclusion. That is the rigidity of the curriculum. So all of those other small problems just come from.
Can you imagine a school where they do computer science could just get one computer? Everybody would now.
Yeah, so. The student can have
you like focus on Christ. Everybody will not focus on
one. You can have 500 students, one computer.
Wow.
So you see, that's a problem. Funding problem.
A big one at that. Okay, don't worry, we are not just talking about problems. We are also going to talk about solution, because it's not just about saying the problem. No. Yeah. And see, we all have a part to play in this, including you. Our mantra in this place: your voice counts. You also matter. So please, as we are doing this conversation in the course of this, I want you to pay keen attention, so you can drop your comments in the comment section and all of that. All right, my next question is, what does the phrase quality education mean to you, first personally and professionally?
Personally and professionally. So quality education, since you've put it in that order. Okay, so personally, I would say when I hear quality education, I'm thinking of a solid foundation for every child, right? And as I usually say, education is not a privilege, it's a right.
Oh yes, so, it's a right, and that is why we are doing this.
Yes.
That is why we're having this conversation, because it's important.
It's very important.
It's a right.
Yeah. So when I hear quality education, I'm thinking of a foundation that is available to every child,
Okay.
that is future-proof. Very important. That is future-proof.
Are you writing? I don't need to get your notepad. Please underline. Future-proof.
So there are three things for quality education for me. Like I said, it's available to every child, it's future-proof, and it does not sacrifice one area of growth for the other.
Please, can you explain?
So, for example, back in the day, I remember, right, when we finished from school,
Okay,
and we go to play football. If your father and
they are
mother
not serious.
if they catch you where you're
Wait,
playing
have you done your assignment?
If they catch you where you're playing football. So now you have a child that is good at soccer and wants to play football. But you're like, this boy is having C's in his. So let's take away the football. So
you
that
have
he
to
can
be serious.
focus on book. You are sacrificing one area of growth for the other. Quality education there's like a compromise, a balance to it. There's a way you can maintain balance where the child that wants to thrive in football can thrive in football and still have access to, quality education.
Wow. So that is what you meant by saying you should not sacrifice one for the and that's a very big one. African parents, African moms, they left the WhatsApp group at this point because you want to play but never. You must do medicine. In fact, that's not changed. Abi, either you're doing medicine or you're doing law and some engineering
some
courses.
Some people will say engineering. Some parents will say accounting, but usually that medicine law. This thing that you said, one of my friends, the dad took after we had finished WAEC, because she failed WAEC. First off, the dad forced her to science class because they wanted her to do medicine, and then she couldn't cope. When we wrote her WAEC, then I think she passed just three subjects rather. So now they can't grieve for her. They had to take her back to secondary school again to humanities department where she originally wanted to be, on the condition that she would study law. Interesting. So that's like the personal aspect.
Okay.
Now professionally, let's use the standard of the United Nations.
Okay.
When the United Nations use the term quality education, there are 6 major things that they're looking out for.
All right.
The first one is equity and inclusion.
So
when you say everybody is included, everybody is carried along.
Can you imagine? And we have a lot of out of school children in Nigeria.
Out of school children. So that's the first thing, equity and inclusion. The second thing that the UN is looking at is qualified teachers. When you say education is quality, I mean the teachers teaching must also be equally qualified.
And they know what they do.
Yes, you cannot take someone that studied biology to come and be teaching computing, or someone that studied maths is teaching
there is a particular scheme in this country. I don't want to call the name. You understand? When they bring people to their school for their primary assignments, subjects when they're available, they will just give you. Some like we don't have teachers.
I know one person that was like, the man just came to describe the principal was like, right now, 5 subjects. You don't have teachers. You're just going to teach all the 5 subjects.
Can you imagine?
And none of the 5 subjects. The person don't even study any of the 5 subjects.
Just look at that.
There are sciences. What you studied was related to science.
What's related to science?
It's not. It wasn't related to science.
Qualified teachers.
So the next thing that the UN watches out for when they say quality education is effective learning outcome.
Okay.
So what that means is that if a child has gone through basic education, the child must be equipped with the skills to participate in society positively. Positive participation.
Underline that one.
So for Nigeria, basic education is primary and secondary. By the time you're done with secondary school, you should have enough skills to participate in society positively.
The secondary school students that I see of recent, while I was serving this country, I did not serve in a school though. But then on my way there is a particular route I take to my PPA every morning. And I'm like, wait, now secondary school be this? Because you see, more than half of the students are not even on the assembly ground. You understand?
Yeah.
They are just hanging around in groups, in twos, and type of gadgets there. Please, let's not start that conversation now. Please continue.
Now, the next point for the UN is that quality education can only happen in a safe environment.
Okay.
Safe environment.
In a safe environment. Make I do the screen.
I remember one time when I was in school, we were just learning in class, and then we just had gunshot from somewhere. Everybody just scattered.
You go away.
Hey, God.
The teacher go very rich. Oh my goodness.
So safe environment, very important. The fifth one for the United Nations is that the curriculum must be relevant to the global problem in time. So you are not teaching children something that is from the past.
This is a cake, Stone Age.
And even if you want to teach it as a form of history, you should still have like relevant things in your curriculum. We should not look at your curriculum from up to down and everything there is just Past tense.
God bless
Past tense.
Nigeria. Amen.
Amen.
I think at this point we have to maybe increase advocacy or plead, because I don't even know. So the governing bodies in the education sector of our country, our curriculum is out of it. It's out of it. It's out of it. And to tag all of now for this
our curriculum
video,
is
it needs to be
so I looked through I looked through the curriculum from primary 5 or primary 4 to GS3.
Which subject is that?
Computing.
Input and output now.
Input and output devices. Input and output devices. Input and output devices.
What are we imputing now?
Input and output devices. But and it's like, I mean, come on. Input and output devices. By the time most children are done with secondary school education,
Nothing.
They will still not be able to use basic gadget tools. And there are some countries that we are, we are all in this global race together. By the time a child is done secondary school education, he is able to program the software.
It baffles me how we have the first world country. Have you observed that we don't have the second world country? It's just from first to third. See the gap. No, how you know go be like that? We say basic education now, input devices and output devices. I wrote my project on. My research was on e-naira. Some undergraduates, they don't even know what to be e-naira. Our curriculum.
Like, there are some things.
Somebody legit asked like, wait, what's that? Is it Bitcoin? I said, no, now it's digital currency, like naira form of digital currency. And you're like, we get.
I was around a learning environment once, and I heard, they're teaching the children business studies. And I heard them teaching traveler's check since I was born. And now I'm getting old. I've never had to use a traveler's check before in my life. I've never seen it before.
I've not seen it before. But of course I was taught in school. Means of transferring. Our hand is no longer short.
I'm not using shorthand. If you want to take minutes in a meeting, there's AI now.
Very fast and
very fast. Within a few minutes, your minutes are compiled. Why are we still teaching shorthand?
Honestly, we have now gone back to rigidity that you mentioned earlier.
And the last
one, our hand is no longer short. Honestly, it's no longer short.
Oh God. The last one for the United Nations when it comes to quality education is that it must begin at an early stage for the child to have good foundation.
For the child to have good foundation, it must begin at an early stage.
You're not bringing a child of 12 years old to just understand an A for apple, B for ball.
I think
quality of the education is
I think
at that point.
Maybe apart from the out of school children, I think to some extent let's say we try small for that part. We try. Because now you'll see, you feel see 2 year old, they pack their parfum, carry and go school like that.
They move. We try.
God bless Nigeria.
No, when we really grade it, we say like half mark and so.
I beg you, the one way vex me pass now, qualified teachers, safe environment, and our curriculum. All the things where person no need. Now they give person may they do.
Well, I know that some people will bring up the point of, we need to preserve history. But I'll still say that was where learning outside the classroom comes in.
Yeah, beyond the classroom. Education should be beyond the classroom.
If you want to preserve history, do that outside the classroom, because you should not be grading students. But you're teaching them things that are not relevant to their current,
Remember that time by the grammar, but Macaulay, 1990 something to it. So cram those things.
If you want to learn history, you can learn outside the classroom. But see that grading, now you're teaching me about traveler's check. I'm going to write a test on traveler's check. I have not seen it practically with my eyes. I have not used it before. But you still grade me for it.
And see, it's not even, if to say you never see them, up until they teach you. Pay me, still see them. Still use them. I go come up with money from fintech, go they use a traveler's check. I don't understand though. You still wouldn't use it. That's a problem. It's not future proof.
Yeah, it's not future proof. Future proof.
God bless Nigeria. Okay, let's go to the third question so we don't, bore you. And in case you've not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. If you want to drop your opinions, so please drop them in the comment section. I'm going to go through everything. All right. Our third question is, what roles do families? Number 1.
Okay.
Government. Number 2. It they can't have. No be one. No. Families, government, media. Media.
Okay.
So, what roles do they play in shaping the educational outcomes of their nation, Nigeria.
Okay. So let's start with families, obviously, because that's where everything starts
The
from.
social unit of life.
That's where the children in question are coming out from.
Yeah,
families.
true.
So, I'll say the number one call of most educators in Nigeria right now is getting the parents to understand that when it comes to raising a child, it's not home versus school.
Okay,
right?
You're
It's
saying
like
that we are not in a
not in a
competition.
competition to raise the child. It's a
Na
collaborative effort.
How
All right.
people-
Most times when you work in a school, right, you have like many instances of parents coming to fight the school.
Yeah.
Let me even point out
Yeah.
one particular one that happened recently where like a child did not do well in a certain class and they're like,
Okay.
oh, this child has to repeat. And the parent can say, no,
Never.
Oh, my child
Not
repeats.
my child.
Oh, I'll take the child to another school.
Bam. Can you threaten us, madam?
So the problem now is, firstly, you have to understand that, okay, home, it's not home versus school, it's a collaborative effort.
Okay.
That's the first one. The second thing you have to understand when it comes to the home front is that there are some things that a child should not be learning in school.
All right.
Learning
At home.
Right?
I got to do your homework. Very
It's
basic.
still morals.
Very basic.
The way society is structured is such that the home should be the first contact of learning to the child.
Yeah,
So there are some
true.
things that if the child has learned effectively at home, it makes learning in school much more easier. And smoother. We should not be. We have 40 minutes to teach a period averagely in the Nigerian school.
Yeah.
I should not be using 30 minutes to say keep quiet because your child does not know how to listen because you're not instilled the morals of listening. Of course, there's the role of the teachers and the school. I mean, I'm not going to be complacent, but sometimes too, parents help. Please.
You know, say picking when no do homework, go see come fail at the end of the term. They'll see come blame teacher. Actually, I've been in this sector before I gained admission. I taught for about 2 sections or so. I've seen this woman proper fight though. Now she carry go school, and then the proprietress was fighting the woman for the teacher because. Maybe I think that the first family to pay the school fees, like they pay for a section at once.
Yeah.
So now they say the way they are now placing the whole thing is like you give that child a preferential treatment. You don't beat the child. Okay, no, all right, not beat now. You don't caution the child. Not like beat, like you know. But then in those days, it's not that we are evolving that you can't use cane. Those days, someone they beat. I mean, they don't beat you for school. They too beat me.
It's a conversation for another day.
My teacher too beats me, but God bless you. God bless you for that. Honestly, I'm sure she's going to watch this video because she has been very, very supportive even from then till now. But then she too beat us that year. If you fail tests like this, you calculate all the things where you miss. Beat us for that.
Okay.
But then I think that part is changing now. But then beyond, I think. Another thing I'm supposed to add to this, what rules to families, government, school owners.
Well,
I think they also have a role to play in this thing.
When it comes to educational sector,
because sorry to cut you in. See this instance that I just made, even though I didn't explain it properly. But then the way they made the whole thing look like 10 was that this child, whether or not the child does the assignment, you must not treat the child in a certain way. Do you understand? Yeah. In fact, I remember that at the end of the term, while we were, we brought out the broadsheets to give awards to best students in mathematics, overall best student. The overall best student was the same as the best students in, I think, in mathematics or English. But there's this particular family that also have the same preferential treatment in school. Because their child did not fall in any of the categories, we had to split the award because of that child into a category where it's going to favor that child.
Okay. So when it comes to school owners, at the end of the day, that's like a larger call to the society.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's some morals that if we have as a society, if a proprietor or the owner of a school is altering results or altering categories to favor children, then we cannot really blame our government or political
completely
for being corrupt. Because I mean, the child sees this kind of thing. The child thinks it's an acceptable behavior. Yeah. So it then becomes like the whole thing that our society is known for, corruption. So it starts from so it's a larger call to society that whatever position you find yourself as a teacher, don't alter marks, don't do favoritism. As a school owner, don't do preferential treatment. So all of those things, it's like a larger
let's just do what is right and what is right alone. So, all right, please, let's go to our government.
Our government. 3 major points.
Okay.
What the government can do to help us is plenty. But let's start with 3. Number 1, funding.
Very important.
Very, very important.
Yeah.
Funding. One of the biggest challenge of the educational system is funding. Funding. In fact, this funding, you go to an average school in Nigeria, right? The average age of the students, let's use secondary school. The average age of the students is between like 10 to 16 years old.
Yeah.
And then the average age of the teachers teaching them is between 30 something to 40 something. The generational gap is too wide.
True.
And then you now begin to ask, why are the younger people, people that are just leaving school, why are they not teaching? Like, how much is the salary?
Beg.
I'll go to school. I'll pay how much for school fees for 4 years, and I'll come and do a job of 30K.
30K, how now? You self check out.
So funding is like a big problem, and that also extends to technology. Where we said before, for example, look at this. We have this national exam we're writing JAMB.
Yeah.
They can post you from this Benin now to Auchi to go and write your JAMB.
6:30.
CBT centers around.
That thing happened to me in 2016. From Mondo, they posted me to Okada for a 6:30 a.m. exam. I've never been to Edo State in my life as a 10. And I was posted to Okada from Ondo. You know the Ameni Bridge when I passed on right.
And the people writing this exam are supposed to be 15, 16 years old. People that have not
they
had
are teenagers.
They are sending them to places they've not been to because there are no CBT centers around. So please, funding important, number one. Number two thing that the government can do for us is the curriculum. Like we said before,
the curriculum is so rigid. We are pleading. We are,
now,
Biko, Edako, as in,
help us to review our curriculum. Right? In the course of teaching, I have had the opportunity to interface with like students outside of Nigeria.
Okay.
And you'll be amazed at how often these people review their curriculum.
But our own, it be like Constitution, 1999 Constitution. Even Constitution said that they do by laws.
When COVID happened, in the UK, for example, when COVID happened, they realized that, there is now a change because people died from COVID, so we need to prepare.
A lot of things happened.
So we began to change the curriculum.
In fact, remote work started becoming a big thing. Remote work started becoming a big thing.
Right now, I have a student in the UK SQA. Part of the requirement for some of the courses that they take is that they teach them about remote work and flexi jobs.
You see,
from secondary school.
From
S5 is SS2.
From secondary school.
Yes, they're teaching them about remote job.
But you see us now, you will first graduate, come the learn soft skills. We go help you for.
You finish now, I started tech earlier.
My father.
Let me start tech earlier.
I don't struggle with the cybersecurity. With my age, I don't do stuff.
You do Python now, you're able to hot.
I even ran away from that one. My head no group as I they have for the country. Nigerian analysts are big, man, they analyze them. But look at it. Where did we get it wrong? Our curriculum needs to be reviewed, reevaluated, everything. It's too rigid.
So we need finance, we need, curriculum. And then the third thing that I would say is that they should make the learning environment conducive for the child, especially government schools, community schools.
And that is how we can even help others out of school children. Because even people that are not out of school, the average, the masses now, let's use the English that they use. The masses, the average mass, mass or masses, now which one? Cannot even afford to pay the school fees for private schools.
Yes, so the children end up going to government schools, community schools, and some of those community schools are forgotten.
The quality, oh my goodness. Education is a right, not a privilege. And even those ones that are not out of school, that are in it, the quality they are getting is out of it. It's no now. It's nothing to write them about. So the quality, God bless Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria. Well, we must admit that there are some people that are trying, some people are doing things right.
Yeah.
There are some areas where, but those are still areas we can improve on. And for the media, the two things media can do for us is number one, just raise awareness.
We are listening, please.
Let people know.
Like we are doing now.
Because there are some people, some well-meaning members of society, some philanthropists that are in a bubble. They don't know what's going on in the education.
Because they can't relate.
Yes, they don't know we need help.
They are picking first in the country.
So if the media can help us louder.
That is why we are doing this. Please also add your voice to this. Maybe we should start with an hashtag review our curriculum. I don't understand though. Please add your voice. Let's do this together. Your voice also matters in this. Drop your comments. Maybe we need to start one advocacy about, because we need help.
So
we need help. The whole thing is changing really fast.
Yeah.
Third word.
It is well. So the second thing that media can do for us is this. Realistically, the media plays an important role in shaping the outlook of the society.
Yeah, true.
Most of the things we think is right and wrong, some of us are influenced from media.
Yeah.
Social media, film, music, all
everything
of that.
Media, yeah.
there are some areas of our society that are still very, very rigid that the media can help us. For example, the use of the AI. Whether we like it or not, it has come to stay.
Talk to us.
And, and people are still fighting it.
See, the problem
it
is
wrong.
Yeah, I think the problem is a lot of people are too traditional to be transitional. Do you understand? So I think, is it a mindset problem now?
Yes, I think it's a mindset problem. Oh, AI is going to take the job.
It's not here to replace you. You can make good use of it. You can make it. You can use it to your advantage.
I saw a video on social media where someone was saying, "Oh, AI is the tool of the devil."
Oh Jesus! How did we get it? People have to justify.
So
how did we get there?
There are some certain things that media can help us. Positive influence can never go wrong. So we need to influence. What we should be worried about is how do we train our children to ethically use the AI? Because children in this so-called first world countries, as they call them, they are training their children how to use AI.
Yes.
They are doing incredible things with AI. We cannot afford to.
But now here we did now.
We are fighting against
the
current.
Basic education paying you. A lecturer is also, a lecturer in a higher institution, do you understand? An advanced place of learning that is no longer basic. It's against artificial intelligence. So, kill answer. What are we talking about?
If we open the kind of ones that is the advanced level of education in Nigeria,
we'll not leave this.
Let's not look at basic education.
I think
that's maybe another episode for that one. The advanced learning, that would be a whole lot of talk. So for basic education, primary schools, secondary schools, the truth is that we might think that, oh, this thing AI. The thing is that for most of the teachers and most of the parents, they were not born into technology.
That's the problem. You mentioned it.
Yes.
The gap. The millennials and the alpha. Because see, the students, the pupils of secondary school or student tuition, they are not Gen Z. They are alpha generation.
Gen Alpha. We have a new one.
Yes, they are no longer. Now, secondary school students be Gen Z.
In fact, no, they talk like maybe on the level. Because even the secondary school now, they don't feel time to Gen Alpha small.
Not true. Because now 2010 Gen Alpha for start.
Yes, now. 2010, that's 15 years.
Yeah.
Those 15 years old are already in SS2, SS1 already.
Yeah, true. So Gen Z said, don't they higher institution of learning.
So we have to consider.
So now a millennial is teaching a Gen Alpha.
And the millennial is close-minded to expand.
Rigid.
So we need to really evaluate. And sometimes it's not the millennials' fault. It's what media has put in their face, what they hear over the news, or they hear on the radio station.
Actually,
so that's
their environment, their upbringing, everything about them.
So that's how media can help. Let people know that there are some things that we shouldn't be fighting. There are some things that we should be.
Let's embrace it. Let's make good use of it to advantage. Let's channel it right.
Yes, let's do it like the donkey that Jesus used for. The donkey is there. Let's just use the donkey.
I do not
don't bother trekking.
Our educator per excellence now pastor, even though he's running away from his calling. All right, wow, it has been a really amazing time today.
Yes,
thank you so much for doing this with us. Thank you for coming to Ariyike's corner. Thank you for entering our corner. When I told you to bring out your notepad and write the other time, you see, I wasn't joking. So, okay, as we bring this to an end, as we close, let us remember these things carefully. Let's support grassroots initiative. Family, do your part.
Family, do your part.
Let's make an appeal. Let's advocate to the government.
Teachers, do your part.
Teachers, do your part. School owners, do your part.
Don't stop where you did bachelors of education, and then you just stop there. Continuous learning. The world is changing. You need to change the world.
Yeah, please let's volunteer when we can. We know say the funding part, but then please let's volunteer because we all need ourselves to do this.
Yeah,
we need ourselves to do this. All right. Thank you so much
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And yes, we all know before now, if you're a newcomer, like you might not know, but if you're a regular customer on this show, you will know that this season is sponsored by Positive Chance for Nigeria. And that is why we are chanting positively. All this thing now is a positive chant. We are chanting to the government, to the governing body in the education sector to, do the right thing for us, to remove the rigidity, to evolve. And yes, I'm saying a very big thanks to Positive Chance for Nigeria for sponsoring this amazing movement. Ariyike's Corner is not just content; it's a movement. It's a place where purpose meets impact. So I'm also saying another big thank you to Evo Studios and to my boss, my Oga, Director Saji. Thank you, sir. And yes, to you, I guess, thank you for coming. And to you, because you are the real MVP. Thank you for staying till the end. Thank you for your comments, your likes. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the subscription. Thank you so much. And for advert placement, you can place your ad on those show. For your advert placement, you can call the number that is displaying right now. You can follow us on Instagram. Precious Adidiji is the Andrew. Everything is displaying right now. You can do all of that. Until next time.
Until next time.
Do you have anything to say to my people?
Until the next time. Bye.
All right. Thanks so much for coming. And yeah, see you next time. Same time, same station. I'm still your girl, Precious Adidiji. Ariyike on here, the medical presenter with the health presentation. I hope I've been able to give you another healthy dose today. See you next time. Bye.